Grabbing some food. Walking around the neighborhood. See who's going to be up this early. But most people will watch this. Not to sound mean. Or either working or unemployed and hungover. So, just the way that it is. Okay, that's makes sense. Cool. I'm gonna check on that. Phone's been acting a little weird. So right now I'm heading to pick up some lunch and kind of relax. I start work next week, next Wednesday. Being scheduled for technically I start work on Monday. I have two jobs currently lined up. One is definite. One's a definite one. The other one, maybe, because they hired me in a weird situation to where they just sent me an email instead of just calling me like, "Hey, guess what? You're hired." And I got hired basically by two jobs in the same day. To which I told both jobs that my availability is open, so I'm stuck in a rut. But I told, obviously, the more beneficial job that you guys have full access to my schedule. So that's just the way it is. So with that being said, I have an orientation on Monday for the other job, and if they call me, they call me. I keep reading that manager's name. Like I really don't care. Preferably, I would like to work both, just to keep my mind busy. For now, I'm just spending the weekend, and now I gave myself a bit of a limit as to how much I can spend, and kept it at that. To be honest, it's just how it is for me right now. Because I know, this upcoming schedule, it's gonna be really hectic. As far as the first job goes, or the second job goes, I can show up on Monday for the orientation, and then I can work Tuesday, and then Wednesday I have to figure out the schedule for the rest of the week. So that'd have to be that. Taking me hired, so it's gonna be a lot of work, but it's what I wanted. Therefore, I'm just doing whatever the fuck I want. So I'm gonna go out, grab a couple of drinks, get some food, walk back, and just chill. I got some food at home as well. I just like these walks. It's very peaceful. You feel? So what I think will happen is that I will go in on Monday. I'll have to call them, and then I'm supposed to know my schedule for my main job for the rest of the week, and then I can give it to them by then. I can also tell them like, hey, so maybe some days I work till this, and then if you need me at this hour, then I can do that. I think I'll just do it like that. Like, hey, so this is where they want me. And anything around here, go ahead and go for it. Because it's a cooking job, so I know how to be resourceful with that. And I also know for damn sure that it's going to be a rough one. So a rough couple days. Another thing is I could just go to the store at this rate too. But I don't know, man. It's just I haven't even started working yet, and I'm already kind of exhausted. Just doing like phone calls, rearranging my thoughts, getting in touch and basis with work. Which I should probably mention on here. I'm gonna be working for a meat department again at a grocery store, but it's a higher end than what I was used to working on. It's higher end, so I can resume my retirement plan, my 401k. So since I already have a good amount of years, I'll just say put away for that. So I have different 401ks just like thrown about, like your mom. Whenever she goes out and tells me she'll be back later on that night, dinner's on the table, and then she comes home with a strange man. That kind of thrown about. The next step after working all this, and then is to go between the two jobs and figure out which one I actually want, like which one makes me happy. The goal should be for working in a meat department is to eventually become a meat cutter, because then that's when you start to get into trade and stuff like that. I technically know a little bit about cutting meat, but not a whole lot. It's nothing that I've ever learned yet. I know what they look like, but like as far as like steaks go, I can pinpoint whatever. That's relatively easy. You stare at something long enough, they're like, oh yeah, that's that. Either stare at it or eat it enough. So, and then the other one is just a bowling alley, but they're willing to pay me a little bit higher end because of my experience. So that's where that leads. But I'm also wise enough to understand that I'm at the point to where I really need to get it or stick with a job that's going to take care of me once I get old. So that way, once I turn 55 plus, or perhaps sometimes even 60 for some people, I'll be ready to say peace, pretty much. Peace, I'm retired. And then, once I hit 60, I can enjoy my life more. So I don't have to worry about work or anything like that. Probably just getting one of those mobile homes. I live in like a senior community or something like that. Be some old man, just bitter. Can't believe I did all this shit. Okay, so this part is the area that kind of tricks me a little bit. Because I don't know. I just walked this way last night too. That's the crazy part. So he's telling me to take that area, but it doesn't feel right. Because there's this circle right here, and it's telling me to take a right, but I don't. I don't recall having to do that. It was just like look down. Oh no, that's right. That's correct. Because then I can see the high school, and then next to the high school is downtown. This is where I originally wanted to work, somewhere downtown, but it's hard to get a job down here. Not necessarily because like there's good pay or anything like that, but it's because people are clamoring to be part of the scene. So chopping at the bits, as they say. We got some overcast here. Whatever you say. Back when I used to have the room that was in the same city, I'd always walk the same way, and like I had it memorized by heart. But getting to where I'd usually go from this direction is a little bit more convoluted, even though it's around the same distance. It's nice because like you take the walk, grab a couple beers with lunch, and then you have that like slight buzz around, and then once you walk back, take a half hour for it to get out of your system, then you're pretty much back to normal. So that goes with pretty much anything, but it's a good way to spend like a Friday afternoon, if that makes sense. Get some food that piques your interest, and then go with it from there. There's also this Mexican restaurant that I'm also interested in, but we'll see. All right, shoulder. It's killing me. I don't know why. And I think after this, I'm going to be streaming for the rest of the day. Might have to do one more phone call. I'm not really looking forward to it. Just how it is. I have a feeling that next week there's going to be some days where I'm going to be working both jobs. But Winco's pretty dead set on having people work 8-hour shifts. Like my first shift, including the orientations, is going to be 11 to 7:30. Half-hour lunch break. Get your shit done and get out. So, which I like a lot more because some places are like, no, you got to take a full hour lunch. I'm just like, I don't want to. I just want to eat, use the restroom, and watch a funny video and then go back. You know, an hour lunch sucks. I don't know why you even need an hour to eat. Unless if it's a day off and you're sitting somewhere, but I remember when I was talking about it with other coworkers, it's like, oh yeah, it's for people who just want to get stuff done, throughout their lunch chores. I'm like, dude, get your shit done like before work. I don't understand. What do you mean? Well, they go home and do laundry and stuff. Why? I don't get it. Laundry is like mindless work. Thomas, how are you, my man? It's been a while. Just walking there. I'm walking here. Look at this apartment complex too. Like this independence. But since I live in California, I bet my bottom dollar that one of those 1 bedroom bath apartments is probably renting for about like $2,000 a month. On a technicality, I could afford it, but but according to the standards that most apartment complexes want, if I was going to get something that was like $2,000 a month, then I would have to make around $5,000 a month. So it's a probability. I mean, I think what I would have to do is just like pay off some loans. I mean, one loan that I have. Either that or be one of those folks that just saves up money and then says, here's this amount I want to pay for a whole year. How's the rain? It's not raining anymore. It was raining last night when I walked this area, but right now the sky's clearing up. It was raining a little bit earlier on this morning, but I don't think it's gonna be raining tonight. It rained pretty heavy last night though. That was fun. You get rained on, but after a beer or two in you, and you kind of don't mind the water. It feels nice, California doesn't get enough rain, in my opinion. So, especially with how hot it can be here. And I know people are just like, well, whatever, it's just California. I'm like, no, California can reach 150 around these rural areas, and then once you head more towards Los Angeles, they can get close to like 120, 130. So it gets hot here. We're not that far from Mexico, and people seem to forget that. People thinking like, oh, well, California has the best weather. Kinda. But I guess it really just depends on how you grow up and where you grow up at, because your body adapts to the climate wherever you're raised or wherever you stay for long periods of time. Any good music right now? I do know that down here, actually, because I was here last night, down here every Thursday night they have a live concert. I'm not too familiar with it, but I walked past it and I'm like, maybe this is something I want to do for Thursdays. As far as like mainstream music, I think the band that my friend introduced me to, and I guess they've been around for a while, is something Sons of Asgard or something like that. Like they're like a gaming musician type people. But nothing that actually piques my interest right now. I'm still just listening to stuff like I've been into like a little bit of Incubus, a little bit of Jorn, Tool. Obviously, Tool's never gonna leave. I revisited when I was doing some yard work for my friend. I revisited Rush. I started listening to Rush again, just because it kind of reminds me of doing yard work. I used to listen to Rush as a kid when I worked on my yard, my friends' yards. Nothing beats Fly By Night. So, to me, well, Fly By Night and Carrots of Steel are my two favorite albums. So, yeah, he is. A lot of stuff that he does with Riot Games with League of Legends too is beyond amazing too. But his solo stuff, it does come off as cheesy. But you know what? That's rock and roll sometimes. So Yeah, but Jordan's up there. For me, James LeBray is also up there, despite the fact that he's kind of like he's kind of like a distinctive glass of wine to me. You either really like it or you don't. But in my opinion, the talent is definitely above all, especially if you listen to his younger years. He pulls off some like wild vocal ranges to the point where it gets kind of annoying. But you can't deny how impressive he gets. Yeah, Jordan's covers are really cool. Disturbed's been coming out with some covers too, that are pretty great. And I've been enjoying watching their shorts that I've been finding on YouTube or TikTok or Facebook or whatever on social media, when they're interacting with the fans, live and stuff like that. It's become a lot more of a wholesome band than obviously when they first started. But it's really cool to see the band interact with fans like the way they do. So. What else is there? Other than that, I've been listening to a decent amount of Nanowar Steel. It's really funny. I love that band. I love how they sing about a lot of useless information, and I love how talented they are doing it. I understand that if they took themselves more seriously with their lyrics, that people would take them more seriously, but I think that's the beauty of it. So, I have songs about singing about being a sober pirate and stuff like that. I'm like, why would you do that? I don't know. Okay. Pretty much. Ross the Boss? No, I don't. I'll have to look that one up. But yeah, this is downtown. City Hall, Community Center. The park. Then, at least I think that's City Hall, right? Yeah, that's City Hall. And everything here is about, like, pretty much like it's old fashioned, almost. Kind of. You can tell the buildings are relatively old, but they're well kept. So. Like this one, for example, right here. That's a restaurant. That building's been there for a while. You can tell by the sides. But you can also tell by the design it's been there. Gotta be at least like 50, 60 years old of a building. But sturdy as hell. And that is a restaurant. The original Guitar Smith. Oh, he does Manowar? Cool. I'll have to look into them. Right now I'm pretty much where I need to be. I'm gonna take off for now. I'll look up near dolls as well. But I'm gonna take off for now. Get something to eat and enjoy my day. I just thought I'd catch up with everybody here that watches this or watches this in the future or joins the live or whatnot. But anyways, you guys take care. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.